when you fired on all cylinders, like I was firing on all cylinders in the country, you know you're getting a lot of spotlight. I had started to stand around a lot and observe after I started seeing how the streets really operated. You know, I had always been a sidekick for most of my life. So being able to be where I was at and be comfortable like I done already described to you guys, it was really a good feeling. But I started to see a lot of traffic started to show up. And this traffic that started to show up had got to the point of people were coming in. I'm gonna describe this as the geo fence. It's an imaginary fence. So for about, I think like 200 miles inside this geo fence, this is where I call my home, the country. And it's no particular place when I say the country. It ain't no particular city, it's the country. Wherever the country was at, I was there. And I think I've already, you know, dropped a little raindrop in the ocean on you guys with that. But I had started to see a lot of traffic. A lot of people started to show up that I didn't invite. And I can't say that I was a cocky guy like that, but I knew this place where I was at, it was a gold mine for me. Anyhow, you know, when you start to hear people talking about you, I done described to you about this broad. When you start to hear guys, you know, you start to hear these niggas starting to yap. I heard one nigga, he said, y'all getting it from that nigga, and that nigga junk be smaller than mine, and da-da-da-da-da-da, and he didn't know it was me. So I approached him, and I say, look, bro, you ain't got to rank me like that. Whatever you doing, you do that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna do me. You know, so I had started to see a lot of little people coming around like that. So it felt good to see that whatever my load was gonna blow before they load would blow. They had to sit around and wait for me to get finished. That was a good feeling. That's when I knew that, you know, things were really, you know, prospering or whatever. So after you start to see these strange faces pop up, they familiar faces where I come from, but, you know, they were strange faces for other people that's popping up, just trying to put competition on the block. And, you know, that could be kind of dangerous at times too. So one night, my homeboy pull up, and he pull up, and I see this guy on the passenger side. And when I seen this guy on the passenger side, I knew things wasn't kosher with him. I wasn't all right with him back home. So to see him on my ground 8 hours away, unannounced, he got out and tried to give me a flimsy handshake. And I was looking at him like, you know, just post up, just looking at him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's happening, bro? And he was like, yeah, man, I've been hearing a lot of things about the spy and this and that or whatever. Anyhow, a week later, I saw this nigga pop up without my friend. I saw him. And he didn't think I saw him, but I saw him because in the country, like I done already described again, I was real sneaky. I stayed in the bushes behind an old raggedy house, or I had a milk crate in the woods, and in the daytime, I would just be in the woods, dressed like I'm dressed now. So I saw him. So he came in with a friend of mine and tried to come in and put out. And I found out what he was doing, how he was doing it, and I was able to dictate how I was going to take that away from him. Because I knew how shady people are, and this puts competition with the hustlers on the street. The prices, my price deal here, you set your price here. You going to talk to people who I know, and you wasn't invited here. You know what I'm saying? I done already came here and put in the work and politics with these people, and now all of a sudden you just pop up. So I found out where he laid those golden eggs at, and I went and took that. So after they ran me away and I went to another spot, one night I get a phone call. I get this phone call from this guy. Hey man, I heard you talking about me. Say, who this is calling me, man? Who this is? You know who this is, nigga? Or whatever, me and the nigga having a heated conversation or whatever on the phone, right? So I tell the nigga, I don't know what he talking about. So he started telling me about a potential health issue that he might have. You telling people that, I say, bro, look, I don't talk about people like that. I don't know your business, man. I don't go to the doctor with you. Well, he keep talking or whatever. So I hung the phone up. That gave me an assumption to be able to maybe ask, you know, because I didn't want nothing to do with that. And I wanted to protect my people that was around me. I wanted to protect the people in the country that I was around because these people like my family. So when I started to do this little investigation on this guy or whatever, it ended up being a bad situation. So he came through really technically to play graveyard poker. So he was there, you know, to spread the bad news. You understand what I'm saying? Spread the bad news. So I didn't get nobody to come and ask me, but I did find out that what he called me thinking his guilty conscience had him in a situation of thinking that I was speaking on that, but I wasn't really speaking on that because I didn't know until somebody told me, you know, what he was dealing with or whatever the case may be. So that let me know that in the streets, it's all type of espionage. Them spies, they trying to spy on you. This guy here, he was playing graveyard poker. A few more guys will come through and have their thing and ask me for permission. Hey man, could you help me make $5,000 or $10,000 or whatever? And I would help them. If it was the right guy that came to me and I knew him from where I knew him from, I would help him. But if a guy that just came up, it felt good to see them pack their bags and leave with that with which they came.